Well, hello everyone, and hope you're all having a great Wednesday. We're broadcasting live from San Diego, California, and thank you for joining us. If you're watching live, it's good to see you, and for those of you viewing the recording, thanks for watching also. My name is Jean McDowell with TradersCoach.com, and welcome to Wednesday Night Live. Wednesday Night Live is designed to bring quality education to you each and every Wednesday. And we basically broadcast at 7:30 p.m. Eastern each and every Wednesday. And we're going to talk about each week different topics such as psychology, options, money management. Elliott Wave tonight we'll be talking about trend trading. So we love when you come to visit us. All right, well, tonight we have a terrific event. It's entitled Techniques for Trend Traders That Boost Profits. Bennett will be talking to you about techniques he uses himself. I'm sure you're going to gain a lot of terrific information. Bennett McDowell is founder of TradersCoach.com in 1998. He's an expert in technical analysis, money management, Elliott Wave techniques, and more. He presents the Trade Station Morning Market Briefing every Wednesday, and in addition, TradersCoach.com has received numerous stocks and commodities Reader's Choice Awards. McDowell has written 4 best-selling books: The Art of Trading, A Trader's Money Management System, Survival Guide for Traders, and Elliott Wave Techniques Simplified. Well, without further ado, Bennett, I will turn it over to you.
Dean, thanks so much. Great to be here. Welcome, everybody. Today, we're going to talk about the PTF indicator, also known as the precision trend filter. You know, when we trade, we have a lot of software tools in our toolbox. And it's kind of like the pie on this slide, which is why I like it. You know, the toolbox or the tools that we use in trading really represent a pie like this. And what we do is connect all the tools together to formulate basically a plan or structure in order to evaluate the markets and also to enter and exit markets. So the PTF is an addition to your trader's toolbox, so to speak. Now I want to ask a question. I'm going to cover a lot of material, so I'm going to give you all a chance to, of course, ask questions. And if you have any, feel free to type them in as I'm speaking, and I'll get to them at some point before we end the webinar today. So don't worry about that. Just ask away and I'll get to them when I can. Now, I have a question for you all. How many people out there have a tool from us, a software study from us, that they're using currently right now? How many out there have that? Sean, I see your question, so don't worry. I'll get to that in just a second, okay? Or a minute or two. Anyway. All right, so many of you have some of our other tools like the OWL, some might have the Trendline Master, some might even have the PTF. So this is a tool you can add on. Now, if you don't have any of our other tools, that's okay too, because the PTF is an indicator that goes on the bottom of your chart. I'm going to show you that in just a moment. So you can add it on to your current trading approach. And it really is a phenomenally great tool, and it's so easy to use too. So it's a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. We're going to look at some live charts and so forth today with it as well. So whenever I talk about PTF, it really stands for Precision Trend Filter, and it's an indicator at the bottom of your chart. Now, before we can do anything in trading in terms of education, we must tell you a little bit about the risks involved. But I always say during every webinar, and you probably have this memorized by now, without risk, there is no opportunity, right? And that's true with everything in life. So, you know, risk and opportunity is what it's all about. The thing is that you want to know and understand what your risk is before you enter the market. So that's one of the things that you can learn at TradersCoach.com, how to control your risk. We're really big on trade risk management, and you should be too, because it really is an important, you know, piece to that trading pie, like we looked at before. But there's no guarantees. Everything we want you to look at here. If there's any ideas you like and you're going to try it with your real money, always go to your financial advisor, accountant, or attorney just to make sure these type of concepts are suitable for your particular type of trading and makeup, because we don't really know yet. Okay. All right. So Gene's already told you to go to Facebook. That's a great thing. We're getting very active in that. We're having a lot of fun with it. And it's also a great place. It's almost like a blog, because it's a great place to post information We have a lot of our users there that go there, and we invite new people there where they can learn more about us. So it's a great educational tool. And so we're using it quite a lot now. So definitely check it out, and also check out our website where you can get detailed information and more videos on the different tools that we have as well. I've also written several books that are available on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or any of the major bookstores. They've all been published by major publishers from Wiley to McGraw-Hill. And they cover everything from risk control to different types of technical analysis. So you may be interested in that. All right, but today we're going to focus on the PTF indicator and how we can really use that to stack the deck in your favor. You know, when we talk about trading, it's all about probabilities. Nothing's 100%, but if you can find some tool or some edge or some association in the market that gives you an edge, all right, that's what it's all about. And the PTF can give you that edge. It's a really great tool, and I think you're going to find when I start talking about it and showing it to you just how it can help you. So it works with basically any current trading system that you're using now. So, you know, if you're not using one of our other software tools like Applied Reality Trading or something like that, you don't have to. The PTF is pretty much a standalone indicator that can help you manage a trade regardless of the type of trading tool you're using or the type of trader you are, whether it's intraday time frames to end of day time frames, whether it's stocks, Forex, futures, any market in any time frame. Now, one of the other things that's kind of interesting is that I usually get asked, what platform does it work on? Well, the PTF indicator, what we've done is we've made it so it works on NinjaTrader, which is a free charting platform. So we have a lot of people that may be using other types of platforms, and what they can do is they can download the free NinjaTrader charting platform. And actually NinjaTrader has free end of day data as well. But you also probably can connect it to your compatible broker. All right. So for example, if you're using, I don't know, TD Ameritrade and you want to have the PTF indicator, then what you would do is download NinjaTrader. All right. And you can import your TD Ameritrade or Thinkorswim data right into the NinjaTrader platform. So that's what a lot of people do if they're using more than one platform, and also too if they're using a platform that's not compatible with our particular software. It can be if you use something like NinjaTrader. But we're also compatible with TradeStation, eSignal, MultiCharts 12, MetaTrader 4 and 5 as well. So those are all available there for you as well. All right, so what I want to talk about a little bit today is that the PTF indicator has a 75% accuracy. Now, that's a high accuracy in the markets. How many people think that is not high? Let me know, because in the markets, really anything over 60% and you have an edge, okay? Anything over 50% and you have an edge. But 75% is quite high. So it's an indicator we really rely on, and it is it's very easy to use. And I'm going to show you, you're going to be amazed at how easy it is to use, but it will quickly determine if a trend will continue or not. So if you're getting to the end of a trend, whether it's a bullish or bearish trend, this indicator is going to really help you a lot. All right, let's see what else here. Ways to gain confidence to pull the trigger on entries and exits. When you use this indicator along with your current trading approach, all right, it will give you confidence because it's going to either confirm or not the signal that you're about to take. So that will be helpful as well. All right, and we're also going to talk about how the PTF indicator can be used for target zones. Nobody's ever really thought about that, but it's a big tool that can be used for target zones as well. And it's a strategy to eliminate panic exits from trends that are still going strong. How many people out there, and this is really a psychological question, how many people out there have been in trends and gotten out too soon because of a pullback, and it turns out to be a minor pullback, but you get out because of fear? How many people have done that? Okay, I'll bet you out of all the people here, and we have a big group here, I'll bet you everybody's done that at least once. Okay, it's human nature. All right, we basically, when we start out trading, what happens is you kind of always trade your last trade. So if you had a bad experience, that creates fear, and you don't want to duplicate that. And unless you have a structured approach, like an indicator like this will give you, then you'll tend to get out on emotion, and you don't want to do that. So fear, this indicator is really going to put your fear in check. And I think you'll see that when we start looking at charts as well. So let's go ahead, and I got a couple more questions for you. The other thing I wanted to ask y'all is, have you ever been in a trend and you had a recent top or a bottom, depending if it's a bullish or bearish trend, and the market pulls back a little bit, and you wonder if the trend is over? How many people have experienced that? And again, I'm sure everybody here has. And yep, we're getting a lot of response now. So the idea behind that is that when you're in either a bullish or bearish trend, there are minor bottoms and minor tops. You get a pullback, the market breathes. And it's nice to know when you're getting in that particular area of a pullback of whether there's a percentage chance that the market will return and make another high. And that is exactly what the PTF is going to be able to help you do. All right, determine that. All right, now the other piggyback question on that is, should I get out of my trade now or wait for more profits? All right, so if you're in a trend, all right, should you get out now, or are there more profits to be made? So it's kind of a piggyback on the other question. So I think the idea here is you're looking for a tool that's going to almost be like a trading partner to you. Think of yourself as trading the markets, and you have a partner. We'll call that partner Mr. PTF or Mrs. PTF, depending on how you want to go. All right. And you turn to that partner and you say, do you think the market's going to make a high, another high, or not? The PTF is that partner. Okay. So look at it that way when we look at charts and so forth. All right. Now, I just want to repeat once again, it's going to have a 75% accuracy rate, which is huge in the market. It's basically going to give you 3 colors. It's that easy to use. When it's green, it's indicating more highs are coming. And that may be a good thing to know for long trades. If it's red, then it's indicating more lows are coming. All right. And that's necessary to know for bearish trades. If it's yellow, it's neutral. There are times when it is neutral, meaning it's yellow and it's not giving a signal. All right. So look for the green, look for the red, and see if it's yellow or not. Now, when we look at a chart like this, I first am going to have you focus on this little itty bitty chart up here, this icon chart up on the upper right-hand side. So when you look at this chart, notice that you have little peaks in the uptrend and then little peaks on the downtrend. Do you see that? So if you were trading this to the upside, this peak here, you would wonder if that is a top or not. All right. Now look at the chart below. Notice you get a peak here, peak here, peak here, and all these peaks are followed by pullbacks. So you get a little pullback here, pullback here, pullback here, and a pullback here. All right, so the PTF is down here. This is what it looks like. Can't get much simpler than that. It's basically just a green and yellow that you're looking at on the chart. There's no red on this one because it's an uptrend. But each time it hits a peak, look down at the PTF, and if it's green, there's a 75% probability it's going to make a higher high. It's that easy to use. Now, let me ask you a question. Wouldn't that be kind of valuable to know? And we'll erase this and we'll put it 0.8 here, point A. If you hit this high here and the market bounced back, wouldn't that be kind of nice to know that you have a 75% probability that the market's going to return and make another high, and it did so right over here. And then it went up to its next peak and it pulled back a little bit. You look down and you see a green, knowing that there's a 75% probability it's going to go higher. Now, it's not telling you exactly when to go in. Okay, some people do use it that way, but basically it's telling you if more highs are coming, and then it pulls back. Same thing. Now look at the current pricing here. It pulled back quite a bit, and now it's resurging forward. Green PTF. So that will give you the confidence during these tops to know if they're minor or major tops. Okay? Very, very important stuff. And we're going to look at some live charts, including the ES and so forth. Okay, in just a little bit. And the Dow. We want to look at the Dow because you're going to be surprised at what you see on the Dow. Okay? So there you have that. Now, any questions on that? How many people would like an indicator that could do that for them with a 75% accuracy? And we've even had our students test the accuracy. And they come up with the same numbers. You know, maybe 76, come up in 74, but right around the 75% timeline, given enough trades. All right, yeah. I mean, how could you not want that, right? All right, let's go take a look at a bearish trend this time. So here's a situation where the markets, you know, dropped like a rock and hit a bottom here and then bounced off. Now, some folks may think this is a major bottom, but the PTF is telling you it's not. And that's exactly what happened. It retraced a little bit and then dropped back down. So again, I'm going to ask the question, do you think that's valuable information to know? You betcha. You betcha. All right. Also, too, you don't want to take long trades when that PTF is red, unless you want to trade just the correction. Because the dominant trend, if it's red, is down. So I think those are pretty good examples of the PTF, but I got one more. All right, now here's another one. And some of you may be using the ART system, which gives you entries and exits. But for example, you know, here's where it turns green. So you've got higher highs coming. And now, even where prices are right now, there are more highs coming. So you don't want to move up your stop too close when you have a green PTF. So if you have a situation where, for example, your stop might be under this pyramid here, but you have a bearish reversal pattern here, and you were thinking about maybe scaling out some here, if you have a green PTF down here, no need to worry. Okay, yeah, it may pull back a little bit, but there's a 75% probability it's going higher. Okay, it's very, very beneficial information that you can tie into your current trading approach to give you a lot more structure. All right, so now I want to take a look at some live markets. Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm just going to minimize this and then I'll bring up TradeStation first, so you should see that. I have Microsoft on TradeStation. Now, this is a daily chart going all the way back to 2016 with the PTF loaded at the bottom. Does anybody see any red on the PTF? Does anybody see any red? As long as you don't see red down here, you can go long. No red. There's some green and there's yellow. Yellow's neutral. Yellow doesn't mean you can't go long or short, but there's no red to keep you from going long. The next question is, check it out. Every time Microsoft perked up and made a little bit of a top on this uptrend, notice you got a little pullbacks too on these. Every time it did this. And even now, check this out. Even this one. Check that out. Check that out. Check that out. Most every time a top was hit, we got a green PTF indicating more highs are coming. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so that helps you realize, all right, if you're about to go into a major correction or not. So for example, this was kind of a major correction. So notice you had a yellow PTF here, right? So that's good to know. All these other were minors. Now the trend continued, all right, but it also pulled back quite substantially before it did. But look at this. Every time here, that's good information to know. So when you get at a peak and you say, oh my goodness, the market's pulling back, you know, should I move my stop up closer or just get out? Look at the PTF. That will help answer your question. So it will help you adjust your stops, okay, to the appropriate levels. All right, do you see how beneficial that can be? Is this pretty clear for everybody? Cool. All right. It's not necessarily telling you to go into a trade, but if you're in a trade or if you're thinking of looking at a top, it gives you some great information of whether that is a major top or just a pivot point in an ongoing uptrend. All right, now let's take a look. Let's go to, for my Ninja Trader users, this is, what is this? Facebook live chart. All right, currently Facebook's pulling back a little bit, but check out the PTF. All right, now I've got this thing magnified. So, you know, we're going only back to, what about April 15th. So check this out. On the 24th, it hit a high up here, and now it's been pulling back, but the PTF is green. So there's a 75% probability it's going to take that high out. Okay, so you want to be careful not to move your stop up too much. And you know, when you get a gap up, most people will move their stop right here. Well, you would have gotten stopped out. But with the PTF green, it's telling you, hey, don't do that. Keep it a little bit lower. Let it breathe a little bit. You'll be okay. Now, how many people would find that helpful? Yeah, quite a few. All right, because that's real life, and this is where, you know, this is where our psychology can really work either for us or against us, because, you know, it's very easy to look at a chart and look at the history and say, okay, great, gone in there. You know, it looks so easy, but in reality, you get little decision points all the time when you're trading trends. You know, is this a top? Should I get out? Should I move my stop? Should I lighten things up? This indicator can help you a lot with those type of decisions and take a lot of the stress out of your trading. Really can. All right, let's go back and take a look. Let's just type in here the Dow for a minute, because I want to show you something kind of interesting here. And yes, it has been back tested. I've tested it and students have tested it. And what you can do is we give you a 10-day trial on it. It's basically a money-back guarantee. So what you can do is test it yourself. And if you don't like it in 10 days, which you know, we've tested it so much, it's going to test just fine. Test it. All right, now here it is on the Dow Jones. Now, this was a high back in 2018. We have not gone above that really at all, okay? We came close, but that's technically not above it. And I could show you the data, but you can check it yourself. It did not go above there. And then it sold off here, okay, into this area here. All right, so now we had a low reached, and now many people think the Dow is going to go up and make another high. But look at the PTF. The PTF is not showing that. It's showing a 75% probability it's going below here. And that area there is like 22. And that may sound very dramatic and drastic, but let's also do this. Let's go back and take a look. Let's see if we can drag this over and get some more pricing here. Look how high and long this trend has been. So even if we penetrated this and went down here, okay, like this, guess what? That would be kind of a more of a normal, healthy correction and possibly an ongoing bull market, right? So anyway, the PTF is saying we're going to roll over and go down. All right. Now, we have to use stops because you always want to use a stop. But here's a situation that if you wanted to take a trade to the short side, you certainly could consider it at this time, couldn't you? We've had some breakdown here. We've had a top that's held. So you've actually got a great place to go short and put your stop not too far away for a high position size. And there's your target zone. Remember I told you the PTF can give you target zones? Well, that's how it can give you target zones, because there's a 75% probability it's dropping below that. Okay. Now, does that mean the bull run is over forever? No, but it means that we are due for more lows at some point. Okay. Let me go out a little bit, stretch that out and drag that back over. Give me 1 second to just get this aligned. Okay, so here, let me just move the bars down a little bit, and we'll stretch that out one more time. All right, so here, I'm going to grab the data window now, and we'll align that right over this price bar that created the lows here. And basically, it's a low of 27,712.53. So the market should head, so that could be your target zone on a short trade. Okay. So now, if you're using some type of trading system, in addition to this, you could wait for that entry, and then this could be your target zone. Now, how many people find something like that helpful? Pretty cool, huh? All right, so I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities. Here's the S&P E-mini on a 5-minute time frame, for example. Okay, notice here, all right, we had a little bit of a breakdown here that created a red PTF there. We had one over here too. All right, and then look, we got to this bottom on the left-hand side, and there's no more red PTF, so the market kind of rallied off that. Now we come down here, and I wouldn't want to take a long position here because of the red PTF. Okay. So it's kind of interesting. It's very, very telling, I think, in terms of when peaks happen, both bullish and bearish. It kind of is very interesting because those are times that we have the most emotion surrounding us on what to do. Now, you know, this is also interesting here. Check out this. We had a high here, but check this out. Neutral. So it's not telling you it's going higher. Now that's kind of good to know. All right, because it's not guaranteeing more highs, and they didn't happen. Okay. So, for example, the other thing too, if we go back to that Dow chart for a moment, let's just go back there. I mean, this has been red since 2018, which is very similar to what has been going on with the ES too. All right. But it's saying that this entire movement up, all right, is not a new trend. It's all part of a sideways correction. And that it should eventually break to the downside. Now, how many people would find that helpful? If you were thinking, okay, I'm going to go long in the market now, got a couple days of a pullback, and this thing just keeps going up, and I'm sitting here with a red PTF, all right, I think I would hold off on that decision. Okay. So it's very interesting. Now, if you wanted to trade this little swing in here and realize that it was not a dominant trend, but a swing you possibly want to try to trade, because you can trade sometimes these little swings, just go to a lower time frame, like a 60-minute time frame, and take a look and see what it looks like there. You may have even some green PTFs in that area there. I mean, look at the PTF on this side. This was green here, and it made a high and then started to move down. So it really kind of gives you a great picture of the market, whether you're trading an individual stock or you're trading something like, Facebook over here, of what to do when you've had a recent high or even a recent bottom. And this kind of information I find is absolutely invaluable. So we're basically, I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint here for a moment, and it's a 10-day money back guarantee. So you can test it to see if you're getting the same 75% that we have gotten, and test it on markets you want to look at. And we'll install it for you as well. That's all included in the price. Try it on your own. I think you're going to be hooked. All right. We get on this particular indicator, everybody loves it. It's a no-brainer. It really will help you in so many different ways. Confidence, where to put your stops, where to initiate a longer-term trade versus a corrective trade. All right. So I want to thank everybody for attending. Any last quick questions before we head out today? Yeah, the platforms, let me cover that again. So the compatible platforms are eSignal, TradeStation, Multicharts 12, they're up to 12 now. It's good on NinjaTrader 7 and 8. And NinjaTrader is a free platform, so you can download that and use it with other platforms that will import data to. It's good on MetaTrader 4 and 5 as well. All right, so all the major platforms, you're pretty well set on it. Yes, it works on any market, any time frame, even Forex. And it's measuring momentum. That's a good question. Yes, it measures momentum. All right, well, that seems to be it. I think I got through them all, and it was my pleasure being here. So I want to thank everybody for attending.